What's up guys, Gonstack here, back again for another video. And this time, we'll take a look at probably the cutest and most adorable thing that dropped in our channel. A panda. Right, it's a panda controller. This is the Stoga Panda controller, a wireless Switch Pro controller that can also be used on PC via Bluetooth or wired mode. Well, I don't personally own a Nintendo Switch, so I've been using this controller to play PC games for the most part. But for purposes of this video, I borrowed my friend's Nintendo Switch so we can fully test the controller. Alright, let's get started. So I got this last month, been using it since then, and boy, this cute little panda is sick. Right out of the box, I'm immediately captured by its unique design and premium looks. It's really hard to imagine this thing costs 1,039 pesos. Well, it's $35 US in some regions, but again, that's cheap for a third-party Switch controller. The controller is decently weighted, and it's on the small side compared to the two controllers we have here, which is a Redragon Hero and Xbox One wireless controller. The overall construction of the controller is surprisingly dense and solid. I would say it's comparable to this more expensive Xbox One wireless. It has a fair matte coating all around, and the edges are smoothed out nicely. It's very ergonomic and fits my medium-sized hands nicely. Triggers are not very deep as opposed to the two controllers I have here. I'm not really sure if other Switch Pro controllers are like these, but that's what I noticed. Due to the unique design, the bumpers felt kinda unnatural for me when I first started using it. Eventually, I learned how to use them, and I just had to position my fingers flat down like this. I'm thinking this may impede you in some games that require spamming the bumpers, cause it's hard or somehow unnatural to spam them if you hold it like this. Nevertheless, if you hold the controller in such a way that the fingers wrap around it, you'll find the ergonomics just fine. Also, the bumpers and triggers are pretty soft compared to the stiffer Xbox One controller. The face buttons are pretty small, but they're separated nicely. They're quite tactile but feel more premium than my Xbox One controller and Redragon Hero. But since they're a bit smaller than usual, I think those that play a lot of button mashing games may find them uncomfortable. The D-pad is fairly raised and probably one of the best D-pad I've tried so far. This is even better than the D-pad on my Xbox One controller. It has the right amount of resistance and it's very precise. The analog sticks are, well, pretty alright. They're smaller than the usual, but they're manageable. Overall, the buttons and analog sticks are pretty good and responsive. However, the controller has a minor issue. The analog sticks have a lot of dead zones and has inconsistent acceleration. Well, I'm not really surprised. You see, in this price range, you can really expect that. Similar to the Redragon Hero that we already reviewed in this channel, the Stoga Panda controller suffers from inconsistent joystick acceleration. Okay, that doesn't really make the controller unusable. However, you'll find that detrimental if you will use it to play games that require precise aiming or joystick movement. If you're a casual gamer or do not play competitively, I doubt if you would even notice that. When it comes to battery life, I'd say this one lasts quite long. I've been using this controller to play FFXIV on PC and it lasted for a good 1 week before it died out on me. Now, aside from being wireless, the Panda controller have some notable features like a turbo button which you press along with any button to spam it, motion control which I think is really great to compensate for the analog sticks when aiming in some games like Zelda Breath of the Wild, adjustable vibration and NFC function which lets you use amiibos on the controller. I don't have an amiibo here so we won't be able to test that though. Also, like I mentioned earlier, the controller works on PC through Bluetooth or wired mode. I personally use it on Bluetooth and this will replace my Xbox One controller to play FF14 since this feels more comfortable and I need the D-pad since I play White Mage. The D-pad on this controller is just so much better than the Xbox One. Period. Now, note that the controller is not really intended for PC users since Switch controllers do not support X input. The only way I managed to use this controller on FF14 is by adding my game to Steam and using Steam's native support for Switch Pro controllers. Now, this is not the most ideal setup, but it's the easiest way to get a Switch controller usable with any game on PC. Alright, so with all things considered, I think the Stoga Panda controller holds so much value for anyone who's looking for an inexpensive Switch Pro controller. It feels great, performs decent enough, and it just looks oh so cute. But again, if you're a competitive gamer or play games that require you to aim with an analog stick, this is not for you. I really don't recommend this to PC users, but if you want to use this on PC, just keep in mind that you'll have to rely on third-party software like Steam's controller support to make it usable on your game. That's it for this video. Big thanks to Stoga for sending this in. Like this video if you enjoyed it, dislike if you have to, comment down if you have questions or anything to say, and as always, thanks for watching and see you guys soon.